Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's second video, doing the 18th Christmas update for today's second video. So, we released JMA Friday earlier on, running very late I think this afternoon and this evening, so sorry about that. So we released JMA Friday earlier this afternoon, that's on the homepage. It covers the weather for the next month. First couple of weeks looking quite cold with that. I mean, it wants to, or it suggests, with JMA and CFS V2 models, that we probably start to try and turn things milder towards the end of the year. I'm a little bit sceptical though. We keep a strong blocking pattern to our north over the Arctic, and so the jet stream does try to push northwards. I'm a little bit sceptical about the second half of today's JMA Friday update, going from sort of Christmas to the end of year. And talking of Christmas, have a look on that on the homepage. Talking of Christmas, this is the 18th Christmas update. So through the past 17 updates, we'll be using the long-range CFS V2 model from website meteorseal.fr, the 9-monthly forecast of the CFS. But we're nearly finished now with the CFS. We've just got this update to do, and then we will move on to the Mediumrange GFS models. So this is the final update with the CFS V2. I don't think it's been performing very well at all this season. Most of the updates that we've done this year for Christmas have been very stormy, Atlantic-driven, zonal, all of that kind of thing, throwing bands of rain and spear gales across the country. I don't think it's been performing all that well, so we're going to discard it anyway from Sunday's 19th update, because by then, the whole Christmas period to Boxing Day will be in the time frame of the extended GFS, so there'll be no reason to carry on with CFS V2. So just for one last time, we're going to have a look at the CFS for Christmas, and then we'll have a look at what the latest GFS is suggesting, just updated, and it takes us to Christmas Eve tonight. Just to say that later on, it'll be a little bit later than normal, probably around 7:30, something like that, maybe 8 o'clock, we'll have Snow Watch, just looking at the situation in terms of heavy snow coming up over the weekend, particularly focusing on sunny, and maybe a second go at some heavy snow on Monday as well. So it'll be coming up on the Snow Watch page around 7:30. 8 o'clock this evening, and as well tomorrow, as well as the weekend forecast tomorrow, myself and Quanta will be going live and talking about this situation with the snow on Sunday, so I'll be able to answer all of your questions. It'll be interactive on Twitter and Facebook and on GasWebbies as well, and YouTube. So we'll be answering all of your questions, whether it's going to snow in your area or not. That'll be from 5 o'clock until 6:30, 90 minutes live broadcast on Saturday evening. But let's get on with the 18th Christmas update. Just tell you one last time about the models we're using with CFS V2 9-monthly forecast, generated midday yesterday, the 7th of December. It's always a 24-hour delay on these charts coming through. So we begin on the 15th of December. Of course, as we're getting closer to Christmas now, we have to start the day where we start the update off. It gets a little bit closer to Christmas as well. So starting on the 15th of December, when we're in a cold northerly wind here with the CFS V2, that could be bringing snow showers into northern parts of the country as well. Through to the 16th, we maintain those cold northerly winds, and then on the 17th, well, up to the 17th and the 18th of December, it's still looking quite cold here. We've got a little transient ridge building across the country. Low pressure is developing out in the Atlantic, but looks fairly weak and flabby at this point by the 18th of December. Essentially, we're just under this weak ridge that is trying to pull back up towards Scandinavia. We've got cold air sitting across the country and across many parts of northern Europe as well. Snow shower risk is easing off that we see in the middle part of December. This will be cold, frosty and icy. We haven't seen anything like this at all really through the earlier updates that we've been doing. The CFS is definitely shifting with the weather as the weather is getting colder. Now we're running up to the 19th of December, still looking cold. We've got high pressure sitting over and just to our southeast across central parts of Europe. The air is pushing up from the south, so it's starting to turn a little bit milder out across the far west, but many parts of the country still mostly dry, cold and frosty at this point. So heading up towards the 21st, moving ever closer to Christmas. This takes us to 22nd of December, where we've got high pressure building up over Scandinavia, but low pressure is deepening in the Atlantic. A bit of a battleground UK situation started to take place here, but it looks like the Atlantic is about to try and break through. We've got a rain band sitting just out to our west. Is that going to break through for Christmas? Let's have a look and get to Christmas. So we go to the 23rd, on to the 24th, on to Christmas Eve, and yes, the Atlantic is breaking through, albeit we've got 1,030 millibar area of high pressure over Scandinavia, so it's very close to bringing us an easterly wind, but actually this update is bringing the Atlantic through for Christmas Eve, so there's a band of rain moving across the country, followed by showers and probably quite strong winds as well, as slightly milder air starts to push in from off the Atlantic Ocean. Then we go through to Christmas Day, and we bring this quite deep area of low pressure in across the country. That's bringing gale force winds across the central swathe of the country. Some relatively cold air in with that as well, so for the north particularly there could be some winteriness with that area of low pressure. Further south probably just wind and rain sweeping in for Christmas Day. And then we go through to Boxing Day, and it turns increasingly stormy. Got a very deep area of low pressure, one of the CFS, it's a CFS special, I suppose, with a deep Atlantic storm of 935 millibars to the west of Scotland, bring gales or severe gales in from off the Atlantic Ocean on the 27th of December. That looks wet, windy, but quite mild actually, and stormy, especially for the south and for the west as well. We head up towards the New Year period, and it stays quite mild and unsettled then. Low pressure is out to the west, high pressure to the southeast. We're dragging up the southwesterly winds. That's turning things really quite mild there. Moving towards the New Year period. Let's get to the New Year, and we find low pressure still out to our west for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So again, southerly winds quite mild. There's outbreaks of rain in the west, probably mostly dry over on the eastern side of the country. The main thing would be the temperatures. That would be really quite a mild start to 2018. I'll run you through the first few days of January. So this area of low pressure starts to stall in the Atlantic, and you'll notice pressure is rising to our north and to our east very rapidly here. By the 3rd of January, high pressure developing across Scandinavia and also going to the north of the UK up towards Greenland. That's trying to get the wind in from the east, and by the time we get through to the 5th and then on to the 6th of January, on to 12th night, it looks like we are setting up really quite an extended cold pattern. Does it actually manage to come off? Well, eventually, yes. By the time you get through, it takes a long while. By the time you get through to the 11th, 12th, the winds are swinging into the east, bringing bitterly cold air in from the east, and probably snow as well by the 11th, 12th of January. So it takes a while to get there, but eventually we do unleash a little bit, anyway, the beast from the east with some very cold easterly winds moving in across the country. Take all of that with a pinch of salt, because the CFS is playing catch-up. It hasn't ever really picked up the cold weather we've got right now, and the cold weather is going to extend into the middle part of December, or only very occasionally has it been seeing this cold weather. So excuse me, I think you have to take CFS with a large dose of salt. Just going to leave you with the GFS, because that's what we're moving on to from Sunday, from the 19th update on Sunday. GFS extended range is now out to Christmas Eve, so I'll run you through the extended range. We're starting on Saturday, 16th of December, when we're in these cold northerly winds. A week tomorrow, they could be bringing snow showers to northern and eastern parts of the country. Then some sort of trough is trying to move in from the Atlantic. That could be bringing some rain or snow. By Monday the 18th, which is day 10, we are building high pressure across the country within quite cold air. So that will be turning mainly dry away from the far west of Scotland, where it's a bit milder, wetter, but it will be turning mainly dry, but with some very hard overnight frost and maybe some freezing fog patches as well. By Tuesday, the 19th of December, this trough is starting to try and move in from the Atlantic, trying to bring some cloud and rain into the west, but the south and east is still mostly dry, cold and frosty. And then the 20th of December, look, we start to take that high pressure to Scandinavia, so we're trying to turn the winds in to the east. Mild air never breaks through on the eastern side of the country, And now at this point, cold air will be starting to push back in from off the continent. And then that takes us into the 21st of December, where we've got high pressure firmly setting up over Scandinavia. The winds are going into the east, so it's cold running up to Christmas here, and there could be some snow showers in the east as well. Friday 22nd of December stays cold with the wind in from the east or from the southeast as well. And then we get up towards the 23rd, and then as far as we can go to Christmas Eve. And yes, high pressure is still there to our east. We're still bringing in generally an easterly flow, so it remains cold. It would be mostly dry. There'd be some very hard frost with that. But the main thing is that the mild weather never really breaks through, so this could be turning into quite an extended sort of cold spell of weather. That's as far as we can go with the GFS up to Christmas Eve, and by the time we get to Sunday, when we do the 19th update, we will actually be at Boxing Day, so we'll be able to start bringing you the full sort of GFS Christmas forecast from Sunday's 19th update, and we'll start to try and pin down a little bit of detail. But it certainly looks as though the trend with the GFS this evening anyway is to keep things really quite cold, even going up towards Christmas. Right, so that's the 18th Christmas update done. We've done JMA Friday. That just leaves Snow Watch, which will be with you probably around 7:30 this evening. And then don't forget, tomorrow, as well as weekend forecast, we've got the live event where we will be talking live on Gazweathers, and you'll be able to see it on Twitter and Facebook and all that kind of thing. And we'll take questions about where this snow is going to be on Sunday. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.